Wait, hold on. Bet. Oh, man. All right. We're back live. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. This is like a episode where I've done a joke. We're seriously live. I'm not. This isn't pre-recorded. This is honestly live. I promise. I promise. Welcome to a wonderful Saturday edition of the Fandom Initiative. First off, you're welcome. Secondly, we have a jam-packed show. I want to dive into it because this is just going to be a lot of fun. Thought we were going to get one guest, but we got two for the price of one, and it's double stacking, but it's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be cool. Let's get these introductions over with, shall we? The man across from me, this gentleman with the follicles and the ever amazing blinds behind him that I cannot stop. I'm about to rob IKEA. I don't even know that's where he got the blinds, but I'm going to rob IKEA anyway. Doesn't matter. This is the cinema CEO. He is the cinema god. He is also one half of the tag team champions of the lower world, along with Lady Mina, where they have a podcast called the AMCA Listers, and she also has her own podcast along with Mawa, which is called Mina and Mawa, Politicking for the Culture. This is Michael Williams.
What's up, yo? Nice to be back, live and in the flesh.
Yes, live from the internet. It is Fandom Initiative.
Yes.
Right. And myself, I am the hungriest man in the room. You can take that however you want. I am the Hungry Bleak. You can also catch me on the Hungry Bleak podcast. Again, I didn't really have the most imaginative name. I apologize for you. I am Antonio Pomatis. This is the Fandom Initiative. We have two incredible guests. That's the name of the episode, as you can see, is a sterling ray of talent. I'm learning from Michael. This is Michael's influence upon me with these titles. This gentleman can do titles like no one other. There's an incredible Kickstarter right now going on, which is called Joystick Angels, and it's from Raes Comics. And we have two of the incredible parts of this incredible project. We have TJ Sterling and Spencer Sterling. Let me bring these two gentlemen up in here. Don't look too closely into the beards. You will be hypnotized. I don't even know how to respond to that.
And the value of the room's about to go up.
Oof, whoa. Tax bracket went up about 10 points. I don't even know how that even happened.
Man, what up, guys? What's going on?
What's going on?
Good afternoon.
First off, thank you so much for being on. It's a wonderful, beautiful day for it. We're excited to have you guys here. How are you feeling today? How's your Saturday going?
Fantastic, man. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, only if you want it to be, of course.
Amen to that. Yeah, man. We're chilling, hanging out on a Saturday morning, you know what I mean?
I might have to steal that line. I'm going to be honest with you, Spencer. I like that line. I might have to steal that.
Thank you, bro, man. It's for the people, man. That's why
it's for the people. Look at how
people, brother.
They give. They're givers. Are you guys ready to discuss some of the geek stuff that's happened this week?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's run into it. Movies. Okay, movie news that we got coming up. Rumor. So this is not substantiated. This is not, but this something's been circulating around. Henry Cavill in Highlander reboot.
Ooh.
I kind of like that, actually.
Okay.
I could see that.
I mean, he's got the sword swinging vibes from, The Witcher.
Yep.
And I don't know, like he's got that brooding, dark thing going on, and I think it could work. Yeah.
We've talked about this before on the show because I'm a huge Highlander fan. Even though if you look at it now, it's very problematic because you had a Frenchman playing a Scotsman, and you had Sean Connery was Irish or Scottish?
I think he's Irish. Yeah,
Irish.
Scottish.
Scottish? You had either Scottish or Irish. We're going to settle that debate today. And he was playing an Egyptian. There was a lot of crazy stuff going on with this movie. It was a lot, but then you have this fantastic, but this topped off by this fantastic soundtrack from Queen. Right. I've wanted to reboot for a while. I watched the TV series. I watched that old animated series that was on years ago. I actually wanted Gerard Butler.
Okay.
He would have worked.
I could see that.
Yeah. But I'm looking at Cavill and I'm like, oh, here comes a new challenger. I'm kind of liking that as well. So I don't know. maybe they could have Gerard Butler still in there just because he has that vibe to it also.
He could play the Sean Connery character.
Yeah. You know what? He could actually. Yeah, he could be. You know what? I'm also wondering which McLeod would they do? Would it be Connor or Duncan?
Do them both.
Because you could have Gerard.
I got you.
Gerard could do Connor, and you could have Cavill as Duncan, since he's the younger of the two.
Completely agree with that.
That's a great point. Yeah. Because I did like when they merged the TV and the film movie together. I thought that was a pretty cool combination. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was Highlander Endgame.
Yeah.
That was the third movie. Yeah, third movie. Yeah, because they kind of erased some of Quickening because of how they gave the Immortals an origin, which was a crazy origin. The alien thing was just...
What the fuck? I'm sorry.
It was out of left. No, but that's the reaction you should have.
Yeah, that required it right there.
And me being such a fan of it, I still watched it like, I don't understand, but okay, I don't.
It'll work.
I would have liked some type of elemental energy from the planet Earth and not anything space related. You know, one thing too that I kind of liked about this whole Jupiter's Legacy thing is this whole like them exploring. You know, so I read the comic book, small spoilers, but when they eventually get to the island, there's like a mystical force within the island. It gives them the power, but it's from Earth. It's not from an alien race. It's anything like that. So.
Oh, really?
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because they had. I know they did like, I think there were like 3 or 4 movies that were on Sci-Fi. And the very last movie was Duncan finally was the last one. And when he became the last one, he became mortal, and then he ended up having a child. And I was sitting there like, all right, I guess this. I don't know where this. Okay.
Was that the end of it?
Yeah, that was the last thing, because that was like after the series.
Okay.
Because there was like 3 or so movies that were on Sci-Fi that were after the series. I think maybe like 5 years after the series, I want to say maybe.
Yeah.
And they still have some of the original cast members. Well, not. Yeah, I think they had Peter Wingate, I think was his name. He played the really old immortal that Duncan was friends with in France. I can't remember his name. This is how much I know the series, because I know this is how because everybody's like, I didn't know the series.
It's been a while. I mean, that joint has been popping since what, like 90s, 2000s, and decade or so and change.
Yep.
It was when the UPN was still going on. So man, it's been
man.
Yes, that was a long time ago. But I'm if this is just circulating around or what have you, one thing. But if it is something that possibly is going to happen, kind of excited. I would like to see this. Hopefully, it'll be something good. All right. In TV streaming news, The Bad Batch on Disney Plus. I didn't watch the Star Wars animated series at all. Did you, Michael?
I started Clone Wars. I haven't finished it, so it almost makes no sense for me to just start watching Bad Batch out of the way, but
Oh, I thought I was going to just jump into it. I'm going to be honest with you.
I mean, you can. You don't necessarily need to watch Clone Wars, but
I mean, a lot to unpack with Clone Wars. It's a big series, and I started it and it just couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
I was like, I will probably jump in cold into The Bad Batch. I'm very curious.
Yeah,
Star Wars properties are really good on Disney Plus right now. Like, they're really, so why not? Like,
because there were 3 animated series.
What, for Star Wars?
Yeah, there were 3.
3, yeah. Clone Wars, Rebels, and I can't think of the other one.
I don't know.
Yeah, there was,
but there's another one.
Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, the same thing.
I can't think of the other one. Yeah,
like I started it when it was on Cartoon Network, and I was just like, I got to go do something else. I didn't have anything else to do. I just couldn't keep up with it. It was just too much for it, man. I don't. But I do want to see it because it does look kind of cool, and seeing everybody go through the Star Wars anime series now, and like just like, oh my god, wow, this is great, and like finding out about it now is kind of cool, and then for them to bring this out, so I might do it. I don't know. We'll stay tuned because I think they're on episode 5.
Yeah,
maybe 5 or 6, something like that. Army of the Dead premiered on Netflix. Like I said, you guys haven't watched it, so I'm going to give you a spoiler-free review. This is Zack Snydering Zack Snyder the most he's ever Zack Snyder. I don't. And what I love about Michael is that he knows exactly what I mean when I say that.
Oh yeah, I'm following you. I'm definitely following you for sure.
If you enjoy a great opening scene, which he does well with music in slow motion, a montage, if you will, which this is a great montage. If you enjoy zombies, if you enjoy the Cranberries song Zombies, if you enjoy fire, if you enjoy, the only thing he didn't have in here was rain, but he had tears, which he worked with as well, because the 3 things he does very well are slow motion, fire, and rain. Oh, and ballistics. He does ballistics very well. He loves a shot of a bullet coming out of a gun. Don't know why, but he does make it look cool. It is very good. I'm gonna be honest. Batista did a really good job acting.
Yeah, he turned down Suicide Squad for this.
Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
This was. Oh yeah, he did. Because as I was watching it, I was like, I'd rather this than Suicide Squad. I didn't even think about it. I was just saying it because it was a random.
In fact, one critic said that it is basically Zack Snyder's version of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
The interesting thing too to me is that Batista, out of all the WWE actors, he's probably up there as like, it's like The Rock and him. Like all actors are probably those are the 2 best. But Batista actually does a lot of character-driven roles whereas actually pretty good. You know,
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has, and this is a joke that I always say, but he actually has that range. He has like this great talent for it, and he's worked for it. And I mean, you have to be able to act somewhat to be a professional wrestler to begin with, especially in WWE, because it's more sports entertainment than professional wrestling. But he's actually good in his. He really. I was at certain scenes. I was like, he actually got me. I was like, oh wow. But you have he's a great act. You have the dark comedy. They put in Tig Notaro, who's one of my favorite comedians. Absolutely, Tig Notaro is incredible. If you have not watched her do stand up, you have to. She is incredible.
She's also very good in. She's also very good in Discovery.
Wait, she's on that?
She's on Star Trek Discovery. Yeah.
Bruh, I'm still trying to watch that, and the Paramount won't let me watch it. I don't. All right, bet. Yeah, and she's great because she was put in because they took out Chris. Can't remember the comedian's name because he had sexual harassment allegations and a few other things with underage girls.
Okay. Chris
Eckel S.
Masterson? No.
That's another wrestler. No, this guy is a comedian, Chris D. Dell. He has a couple of specials. He's not really worth even mentioning, I'll be honest with you. Tig was way better than whatever he would have done. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
It's about 2 hours and 20 minutes, maybe. Flies by. You'll enjoy it. Watch it. Very well done. Like I said, this is Chris Snyder. If you just give him a budget and say, look, just do what you want.
Right.
This is it. So I enjoyed it.
Dope.
Now, the meat of Netflix, Castlevania.
Oh, God. Lord have mercy.
That.
I mean,
where do we begin with that?
So me and my brother, we've been watching anime since like 92. You know, when it first started coming to the United States, and you could go to Blockbuster and pick up an anime from. That's how long we've been watching anime. And Castlevania has absolutely some of the best fight scenes, action sequences in anime ever.
Period.
Just incredible. I mean, people are hand drawing this.
Yes.
And it's the sheer scope, the detail, the character designs, the architecture, it's all pretty incredible. And what I really love about it is that it takes the time to be philosophical and like heartfelt, and you get to know these characters and the way they think, mindset, like who they are as people. Like I got to feel like I knew Trevor, you know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I got to know, you know, Ducard, like as a person, like these personal struggles, they were going through their own demons. You could feel that through the story, which is, and yeah, it's perfect.
It took me like 3 tries to watch the first season. I couldn't get into it for some reason. I don't know why.
Wow.
And then when I finally watched it, I was like, wait, it's only 4 episodes? I was like, wait, what? No season is 4 episodes. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you only make 4 episodes? And then I kept watching it over and over again. I watched literally that first season. I've watched about maybe 60 times.
Wow.
I would watch it if I was cleaning. I would turn it on and just have it in the background listening to it. And when a scene would pop up, I would like turn around. If I was going to bed, like a lot of times what I'll do is when I'm about to go to sleep, I'll either put on a documentary or I'll put on some stand-up comedy.
Right.
I started putting on, or something that I know I don't have to look at. Like it could be like Law and Order SVU or Ghost in the Shell, like some like one of my comfort shows. I started putting on Castlevania. And just because and then when the second season came out, I was like, oh my God. Then the third season, I was like, what the hell? And 4th season, I just finished it a few days ago. I couldn't watch it all in one day because I have life things to do. And I was like, what the?
How dare you have life things to do?
You know what I'm saying? Like 2021 was like, no, man, you got things to do. I'm like, but yes, the animation is incredible. You don't just get these 2-dimensional characters, no pun intended. You get actual depth of characters.
Right.
Like you feel like you've been watching 30 episodes when it's only been 8 or 10 because you've gotten so much. And yet the philosophical, they will have these. Isaac had some of the best conversations. The conversation he had in season 4 when he was talking to one of the night creatures.
Yeah.
And the night creature was eating the berry. And he was like, well, you could do whatever you want. And he was like, no, we created for this. He was like, yes, but if I want you to do whatever you want, then you have the ability to do whatever you want. Yeah. Have this berry. Have this. And he kept saying, no, we eat meat. He was like, no, have a berry. And he was memories. And I was like, what? Wait, what? I love how the animation changes when the fights are about to happen.
Word.
And it changed. And they were different for each of the characters when they would fight. And it was just... when Alucard was fighting in the, I'm not gonna spoil anything for you, Michael. But he was fighting in this in this 4th season. And he was fighting. He had his armor and his shield, and he was fighting. I sat back. I was like, what the? I had to take a breath. I was like, this is crazy. How? Like I really, and I'm sitting there like studying. I'm looking. I'm like, oh my God, Trevor. The whip work,
man.
Yeah.
That dude's a G, man. He's such
yeah. I mean,
you get to fully actually like see the extent of what his abilities are in season 4. Like he takes it to the next level. I mean, I personally thought season 3 was like the pinnacle, but he takes it to another level, and he kind of in the beginning of the series obviously starts out as that drunk and kind of like, I guess downtrodden a little bit, or down and out, as you like to say. And then, now he's kind of like, I guess, fully actualized his purpose. And it's interesting to see that type of character development so quickly. And I will agree with you, Antonio, that the first season was a little different. And I think they were almost kind of experimenting to see whether people would like it. And because
I agree.
Like, let's do way more episodes. Let's plan out the next 2 arcs, X, Y, and Z, and make it more robust.
That's right.
Yeah. Michael.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Castlevania is one of those examples where I often say animation is the way to go with something like this, right? Because animation to me in the sense of Castlevania, kind of unlocks the story way more than doing it in live action could, right? So like, and that's not to say that the animation part of it is not hard to do. It is, but I think what it does is it allows you to kind of really, really super focus on the story, because the story is what drives it. I mean, the animation is great. I'm not knocking the animation at all. Animation is great. But that story, to me, the story to me was the hook for me in the first season. Like, I had never seen anything, any kind of animation with the depth of story that Castlevania had. Yeah. I was like, what? I'm like, I was like, this can't be. I'm like, there's no way they can sustain this story. Right. That was originally what I was like in my head. I was like, okay, these 4 episodes are great, but are we going to be able to keep going at this rate? And it just gets better and better and better as the seasons go on. And I mean, I know a lot of people who've asked me about what are things to watch on Netflix who aren't necessarily animation people. I always recommend the show to them. Yep. I'm like, because this is for lack of a better term, if there's never been a term that exactly fit this is adult animation. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? It's an adult story that doesn't talk down to the viewer at all. It's a different spin on the Dracula story that you're used to seeing.
Yep.
It's just amazing. It's amazing to me, and the character development on the show is amazing. I watched an episode from this season, and I almost wanted this particular character, and forgive me because I can't remember this character's name, but she's the one that put on all the armor in one episode and basically went out and killed the entire army herself.
Yes.
I watched that episode and I was like, man, I'm like, I could watch an entire show with her in it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just her.
The sisters were very dynamic.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of them were very well done.
Yeah.
So definitely with that armor too.
Yeah. And me and Antonio talk about this all the time. You know, and we talked about it recently in like animation shows that we've watched, like Invincible and things like that. This is another show that kind of reminds me of the first time I watched Spawn on HBO. Like it had that effect on me. Like when I saw it, I'm like, I remember watching Spawn, and Antonio will tell you this because I told him this a couple of weeks ago. I watched Spawn the first time I watched it on HBO, and I was like, wow. I'm like, wow. Like this thing just kind of hooked me, and I needed to watch it every week. And that's the feeling that I got with Castlevania when I watched it that first season. I was like, I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait for another year. I was like, we got to wait another year until another season comes on. I'm like, you guys gotta fast track this. Like we need more of this now. You know what I mean? And I feel that way. And I feel that way with Invincible too.
Yeah,
I actually started rewatching Spawn this week. I was like, you know what? Because it's one of the best comic book adaptations. Like my 2 favorite are honestly Invincible.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say outside of, you know, the bigger ones that you would say. I would say it's Invincible and Spawn because they're not for kids.
Nope.
I mean, you can let your children watch them. I'm not going to tell you what to let your children watch. I mean, obviously,
not okay. We watch violent movies.
Who am I to tell you? Because I was a kid and I was watching like Poltergeist and Amityville Horror. So
exactly.
And I turned out
Yeah. We were a different generation.
I'm saying. Latchkey all day.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
You know, and it hits in that same vein. It no pun intended with vampires, but it gives you everything. It gives you these incredible fight scenes, these stories that are a bunch of different stories too that are woven so well together, and you get this dark humor, which I found myself at certain points having to rewind it and say, "Wait, what?" to make sure I heard it properly, because it's like that very dry humor, and I was like, "This is great." And the voice acting, got to give a shout out to voice acting. Is incredible.
Wow, absolutely. Yeah, man, they put the Brits in there, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're gonna hear some stuff. Hear some very prominent voice actors, and because I think wasn't Saint Germain the guy with the dude from Underworld?
Yes, Bill Nighy. And he was one of the funniest parts of the show. Certain things that he was saying, I was like, damn, his shade is like on Prince level shade, because he would just say it and walk off, and I was like, that's
smacking vampires and stuff. I'm like, okay,
dude. Who does that in the vampire's own home? Like, who does that? It was, so if you have a chance to watch, it's 4 seasons. It's, let's see, 10, 20, 28. It's 32 episodes.
Right.
It's very easily digestible.
Yep. Half-hour episodes.
Yeah, and it flies by. You'll be in season 2 before you know it. And then you'll just be like, oh, well, just a couple more episodes. Before you know it, you'll be in season 3 at the last episode. It flies by wonderfully. That's how you know a show is great, when it flies by and you go, wait, what? But it wasn't like something you didn't pay attention to. You took everything in. You're like, wait, that's it? I have to wait till next week, or I have to go to the next episode? So check this out. It's one of those really, and I love the fact that it did survive after everything that happened with Warren Ellis. People didn't think that the show was going to be any good. It wasn't going to survive. It's not going to be of the same caliber. It was, and it upped a level. Because that, again, I'm not going to spoil anything for Michael, but that last fight was so much like a video game.
Man.
I was like, oh, let me go on PlayStation Network, see if I can find something that can satiate this hunger right now, because I feel like having one of these, like a Devil May Cry, like kind of battle with that going.
It definitely reminded me of Devil May Cry. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's that last fight, I think, in the first game is what really made I go, wait, is this supposed to be bottled after like a video game? Because this, but again, it's after a video game, so totally makes sense. So if you can, go watch it. The DVD is also available as well if you don't have Netflix, which I think there are like 5 people that don't have Netflix. So I'm not going to judge you. You live your life however you wish, I guess. I'm saying, I mean, I know they crack it down on membership, but I mean, you can find somebody that, you can give them a couple of bucks. Let's use that password, I'm saying.
I'd quickly add too that it's one of those series that is good from start to finish. And I think a lot of times, you get disappointed by certain series. Like Game of Thrones started out incredible, and really not so incredible. So it's like you get let down, but like the producers knew what people wanted, but they gave them something completely left field on purpose, and it just fucked the whole thing up. So it's like one of the things, like, you get what you want with Castlevania. You get what you want out of Invincible. It's the same thing. 2 series that are incredible start to finish, that just are rewarding and just fun.
It's true. It starts out in this, but you see the progression too, which is great. And it's kind of like a video game. You start out with nothing, and the more you fight, the better you get. You get better weapons, you get better armor. So it does mirror even that video game life as well. So it just, it's. I want to possibly go on record and say it's a perfect animated series.
Yep. I'll go on record for that too.
I'll co-sign that.
I mean, I think that is a thing. Yeah, it definitely is.
Now it is.
Yeah. So next up, I think it's just premiere, so I got to check this out. But Hacks on HBO Max. Gene Smart. That's all I got to say. I'm a fan of Gene Smart. Look, I grew up, no shame in my game, I grew up watching Golden Girls and Designing Women.
Nice.
One of my favorite characters is Dorothy Zbornak. Give me B. Arthur all day. I'm good. So good. Bet. But this is after HBO's Watchmen. Gene Smart just like got a whole nother level on her. So now she has this HBO Max original series where she plays this aging comedian in Vegas who her act is like becoming stale, what have you. So I believe it's her agent sends this young female comedy writer and comedian to her to help her with her jokes, and it's just the two of them butting heads, and it's like the old generation and the new generation of comedians. This is very like a very stand-up comedy heavy episode. I'm just realizing I didn't even realize that. And you see how they kind of butt heads and how they find common ground in certain things, and how they can each learn from each other. I'm a stand-up comedian fan, so a story like this is really cool to me. I want to start watching this because I dig Gene Smart, and I dig comedians. I want to see who's going to be on there as far as maybe guest comedians. So HBO Max, this just premiered, I want to say, within the last couple of weeks. Check this out. And the last one is Those Who Wish Me Dead. This is another one of the simultaneous releases in theaters and on HBO Max. I actually finished watching this morning. This is Angelina Jolie. We have John.
Tyler Perry?
Yeah, Tyler Perry. Yeah, who's only in it for like 3 minutes.
He's not wearing a dress, is
I was
he?
about to say he's not Medea, is he?
He's not. There is no bad wiggetry. There's no shifty wigs going on. No one is saying good morning, anything like that. I kind of liked it. It was quick and dry. This is the type of movie that you would get in the beginning of the summer in movie theaters. You start ramping up your action movies. This was a pretty good one. Angelina Jolie is a fire jumper who has had a traumatic experience in a fire. So they send her up to one of the watchtowers, which is like in a forest. They have like these watchtowers where people go and they'll watch for fires. And then it just escalates from there. There's a chase, there's gunfire, there are soldiers looking for this kid that she ends up protecting. It's like an hour, 40 minutes. Look, if you ain't got nothing to do, it just premiered last week. I want to say, if you got nothing to do, not I'm saying it's a bad movie, but if you just want something that's quick and fun, because sometimes you don't need like this big, epic tour de force movie. Sometimes you just need something that'll get you through dinner, or while you're waiting for your Chinese to come down, or you got that, that Beyond Burger, brother, on the grill, on the grill simmering, you know what I'm saying? And you need something, and you need that watch it. It's just fun, honestly, and it's not a big theater experience, so you can deal with it on TV. More theater experience is going to be coming later on, once everything is dealt with. All right, comics. I'm going to run through these because, as always, there's just so many comics in life. We have Embodied, which came out on a Wave Blue World. This is a really cool one. It's poetry, a comics form. Friend of the show, a friend of mine, my food buddy, Tikia Marie did artwork in this, so
love her work.
I had to, and it's the book is beautiful. First of all, the cover itself, the presentation of it is beautiful. I always love a great cover and the design of them, so that's awesome. So check that out. That's out now. The Many Deaths of Lila Starr, number 2 from Boom Studios that came out. Yeah, just anything I'm saying, just go get. I don't talk about comics that I don't like. There's no point. My life is too short. I don't have time for that crap.
You got great taste, ladies and gentlemen.
Look,
I'm hungry and oblique if you ain't got good taste. You know what I'm saying?
I looked. Whoa! You just gave me like 2 hit points, and I dig that. My HP just went up like 5 stars. We only find them when they're dead. This is one of the most intriguing sci-fi stories I can imagine. Space gods dying in space. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Get it. Eve from Boom Studios as well. This is beautiful. Young black girl is like one of the last survivors on Earth, and she has to find others. And she's looking for her father in a flooded, like the polar ice caps had melted, and it's a flooded New York. And all you can see is like the top of skyscrapers. And she has this robot that's disguised as a teddy bear that's her companion. So she has to traverse this world and find people. We don't see very often young black girls as leads in comics. They're usually like a secondary character, what have you. I loved it. It was wonderful, beautiful. There's a conversation between her and her father at a point in the beginning of the comic. This is one of those comics to get, especially if you have a young black girl in your life who feels like she never sees representation, even though it's there, we're getting there, but it's still very, very small. Get this, it was one of the sci-fi epic adventure kind of vibe. Go get it. The new Wonder Girl came out. This was the Wonder Woman. This is the Wonder Woman that was going on during DC's Future State. She now has her own title, and she is Wonder Girl. She's just awesome as hell. She's from Brazil. There's going to be a lot of mythology in that as well. I want to see how this works into everything else, because I know continuity doesn't exist at DC anymore as far as the comics, from what I understand. They wiped everything away. They were like, look, with the Infinite Frontiers line, I think they're just like said, look, just do what you want to do. I think pretty much.
Yeah.
So YOLO it out, folks. I guess I don't know.
Yep.
Silver Coin number 2 came out from Image. Great horror anthology. I'm excited for the next arc because it was announced that Vita Ayala is going to be working on one of their comics, and I'm a huge fan of them.
Yes.
I want to read that all day, every day. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love a good horror anthology. I Walk with Monsters number 6. Read it. I don't know what to tell you. Read it. I've talked about this for weeks. Read it. I've talked about it here. I've talked about it on the Hungry Bleak. I've talked about it on the Zion Network IG show. Read it. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I have to come to your house and read it to you while you're napping. I'll do it. I don't care. Read the book.
Gotta read it.
Actually, that might be creepy if I'm just reading to you while you're napping. I'm gonna be honest with you. That I didn't even realize that. I'll wait till you wake up and I'll come by and I'll read it. Well, you have lunch or something. You know what I'm saying? I'll order some pizza or something like that. Silver Coin number 1 from Aftershock. Aftershock is doing some really crazy things, and I love it. This is like what happens after you die and you're in the Silver City, which is another name for heaven, and the adventures that people have in there, where it's kind of like a seedy underworld city, Silver City. It's not like what you would think. I think it's like just before you get to the pearly gates, you have to go through Silver City, and it's not very clean. And then we have Shang-Chi number 1, which came out. I'm becoming a huge fan of this character. We've talked about the trailer. Holy shit. Yeah. Just read it. Run it. There was a mini-series, then there was a special number 1. And now this is going to be the regular series. This is it's really titled Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe. Beat everybody's ass. I'm totally cool with it. I have no issue with that at all, sir. Run it. Beat that ass. As far as gaming wise, the only thing I can really think of is there was a little game called Blurred Domination that came out.
Let's go.
Somebody might have worked on this, which I may have had a cup. It's me, folks. It's me. Shameless self-promotion, I'll be honest with you. I'm honored to have something like this that I was a part of. Thank you to Kanisha Williams. Awesome. I got to do the comic book questions, and I was thrilled to do it. It was amazing. I've never thought of that. It was a great challenge for me. She messaged me one day, said, would you like to be a part of this? By the time we were done with the conversation, I think I had like 10 questions already done, and I was just coming up with more. This was great. I tried to incorporate, I think I came up with 25 for her, and I'm working on more actually. I'm trying to incorporate a lot of indie comics as well as some of the big 2 stuff, but more indie comics in there. If you do not see your product as far as a question, I'm working on it. Because I wanted to show representation for everybody, and this is awesome. Look, if you can get it, the link is in my bio on my my IG, which is the Hungry Bleak. Yeah, look, I'm gushing. I'm just for real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To have something that you worked on and actually be a physical product, not just this, which I love doing this, having videos and streaming stuff, what have you, but to have something that I can hold in my hand that I wrote is crazy.
That's what's up.
It's crazy. So thank you.
Nice.
So that's what we're going with that. So now we want to talk about this incredible Kickstarter that the Sterling brothers have out. Everything else was an appetizer. This is the entree. This is the meat right here.
That's right.
There's an incredible Kickstarter out for your comic called Joystick Angels. Please give us all the info that we need for this, because it's terribly interesting and I love it.
Man, that's a pretty amazing intro. I mean, it's a little hard to top, you know.
My bad.
But yeah, man, Joystick Angels is a YA sci-fi space opera comic series centered around 5 young space pilots who are basically tasked with saving the universe against an evil alien empire. This alien empire called the Eukarya are like parasites, basically, like overgrown, mutated viruses. You know, bacteria, viruses have been around for millions of years. They're not going anywhere. They continue to get stronger. And in this particular future setting, they've completely taken over and absorbed all of Earth's resources, and Earth is no more. So all human beings live on a satellite space vessel called the Libor Space Station. And issue 1 opens up with these kids playing a video game, an old school video game with a joystick. And they eventually have to jump into a competition where they're competing against the entire space fleet of a whole bunch of other little squadrons for the title of Supreme Squadron. Once they get that title, they're able to actually lead the charge against these Eukarya. It's the highest honor in the society to basically be a part of this military effort. And you have these really 5 young, amazing kids that are just really, really cool and fun to watch. And it's just a very unique story. It's something really different from the minds of the people behind, you know, Okamus and other stuff from Ray Comics.
Here we go.
So now the Kickstarter is going for how much longer?
Till June 12th.
So y'all got plenty of time. Matter of fact, I mean, you can pull out your smart devices right now and you can go pledge to this.
Yeah.
They have a lot of great. Can you tell us about some of the tiers that you have for the Kickstarter? Tiers are one of the best parts. I love scrolling through them and seeing which one fits what I want. But then you can also add on some things sometimes as well. So what are some of the tiers that you have going on that and what inspires some of the tiers too?
Absolutely, man. The tiers are a lot of fun. You know, we've got obviously the comic book. There's there's cover number A by the Zong brothers, which, you know, everybody's seen. There's a cover in the works by the one and only Marcus Williams of Tuskegee Airs. He's doing a wrap around gatefold cover. He's, you know, Marcus is super busy. He's working on a million things, as he should be, because he's incredibly talented. He's doing the cover B for us, and that's going to be done probably by the end of the month. So people should be able to see it before the campaign ends. Right. You know what I'm saying? Fingers crossed. There's not only the physical, but there's the digital. And you can also get a physical comic and a physical CD. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if everybody remembers buying CDs, going to a store to buy a CD. It wasn't being back in the day. But, you know,
Sam Goody, damn it.
Yo, Sam Goody, FYI, out here in the New York City area. I guarantee you guys are going to love this project because there's kind of something for everybody. There's t-shirts. Me and my brother are rocking a couple of the t-shirts that you can get for the campaign. We just hit 12K last week, so everybody who pledges $50 gets enamel pins in their order. And yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? The tiers are just a lot of fun. There's also a tier for independent creators. We wanted to highlight some of our good friends who do amazing work in the industry. Guys like Newton Lillebois, guys like Greg Anderson Elise, guys like Keith Cross, guys like Robert Jeffrey and Johnny Quatre, some really amazing creators, Russell Nolte as well, who are indie powerhouses that do really, really great, unique stories. I think Ray Comics is known for unique stories, doing stuff that's outside of the box, different, and just, you know, not normal comic books. So we wanted to pick people who basically are in that same vein. David Crownson is in there as well. So it's a good way to support, you know, the other indie guys, you know, as well as a really cool new project.
Outstanding. Now, my brother here, he has recently, you read, it was issue 0, right?
Yeah.
Read issue 0. And I mean, you let two gentlemen what you thought, sir.
Yeah. It was
Okamus is issue 0, yes, sir.
Yeah. I read it yesterday, and man,
Nice.
I think for me, and Antonio will attest to this, that when I read things, I see a lot of the cinematic value in it. You know what I mean? So it almost feels like when I'm reading it, it feels like I'm either watching a Netflix show or I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
And I mean that whole fight scene, basically in the middle and towards the end, was just insane to me. Insane. And I think there were parts of it also in my head when he pulled out that saber towards the end, that made me kind of think of, and this is where I'm joining it back to the beginning of the show here. Highlander in some ways. Like it almost felt like when he struck the villain down with that saber. There's that scene where it looks like the pure energy of him destroying it is like going back into his body. It immediately made me think of a quickening situation.
Yeah.
which is crazy to me. I'm like,
all right.
Yeah, I'm like,
picked up exactly what I was putting down, man. I love the whole concept because to me, Highlander is very much like, you know, if you're absorbing the essence of someone, a defeated person, it's very much like how, you know, these old style like wars where people were cannibalizing their enemy to get their powers. I mean, it's a timeless thing, but it's done obviously, you know, a much more modern, tasteful level. But yeah, we wanted to kind of, you know, bottle some of that same energy that Highlander had in this book.
Yeah, and the whole idea that he would absorb the energy and then kind of take all of the knowledge with him to where he's going next to kind of figure out the rest of his journey just struck me. Like I was like, wow. Like I could completely see that in a movie situation, or even as either the ending of a first season of a show, or even dare I say the beginning, because I'm the kind of guy that doesn't want to wait around necessarily to the next season. Like, get me started here and let's go from there. So, yeah, and even when I saw the concept for you guys, Joystick Angels, like hearing you just talk about it now makes me think of another movie that is so underrated for its time. I almost wish that they would do a remake of it, but I would almost want it to be a remake in the style of Joystick Angels. It makes me think of The Last Starfighter.
I knew you was going to say that.
For some reason, it makes me think of that, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, but this isn't just one person now. It's a whole group of, you know, a group of people. And I think what really kind of stood out to me too is that you guys actually took it the extra mile and thought of like a soundtrack that goes with this. Like there aren't people kind of really doing that unless, you know, they're doing it on their own. You know what I mean? Like I don't see necessarily major corporations, because to me now the soundtrack is almost the forgotten thing about movies now. Like there was a time in the late 80s, early 90s where you had to have a soundtrack that went with movies. And now it's not that way anymore, right? Like they could care less. You know what I mean? So I mean, I want to big up you guys for even thinking, you know, that much further along in your creative process to be like, let's make this like a complete kind of experience and give it music and audio to go with it.
That's a great way to put it, man. We definitely wanted to make an auditory and a visual, you know, immersive experience. And you know, I said I'm so proud of this series, man. I think we both are incredibly proud of not only the art, but the musics, the sonics. I mean, people are really going to be able to be transported to another world, if you will. And it takes me back because I read one of the first comic books I ever read that had a tape, you know, like a tape that would go in the Walkman. Companion was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic book back in like '94. And you know, you'd play it for the chapter, and then it had like sounds, like they're walking through a sewer, like you'd hear some drips, you know what I'm saying? Like voices. And, you know, I just like that type of, you know, experience in comics. And it just hasn't been done in such a long time that we wanted to do something like that. And we're planning on building this universe as much as we can as issues go on.
Right
now, it's like, you know, going to a movie and they're like, yo, that Iron Man, you know what I'm saying, that Captain America soundtrack was so far, I got to go download it. And it's like, I'm a big OST guy. I love original soundtracks. Like Oblivion is one of my favorite original soundtracks that I listen to all the time. I like that futuristic type stuff. So, but again, like I listen to Captain America and Winter Soldier, you know, soundtrack all the time. Like I love OSTs. I download game OSTs. So it's like part of my love sonically, because when I am drawing comic books, I need music to draw. That's just kind of how my process works. So, yeah, you know, I appreciate you saying that, man, and going deep on that.
Yeah, no problem, brother. No problem at all.
What inspired the music for the soundtrack? Like, where did you find like the inspiration for it?
It was really just the story. I mean, because when we first started writing the story, I started creating immediately, and it wasn't really a tedious process or anything like that. It was just like, okay, I know that I want to have a main theme. All right. And what would that be? Like, how would that feel? Like, what type of themes have I heard? Because one of the things that really grabs me, like, even though, the Wonder Woman, for instance, like when you think about like when she's like in action, like that noise, like, not even a lot. It's almost like the ESPN theme where it's like 2 or 3 notes, but it's like the way they execute it, it really grabs my spirit, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Something epic is about to happen, whether it's or not, right? So when I was putting it together, it was just like, okay, I want to explore the characters. I want to explore the main entities in the story. You know what I'm saying? Because each character has their own theme for this particular episode or this particular issue. And then the main entities within the story, like that are more overhanging, like the Libor space station. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously we're getting a Joystick Angels theme song, right? Or just like an instrumental. And then the Eukarya, the antagonist, you know what I'm saying? Like they're getting one as well. You know what I'm saying? So very villainous, you know what I'm saying? Something that's techie, but you know, because I'm a very technical person, you know, with how I compose, but I do like cinematics as well, you know what I'm saying? Like growing up, just think about it was like I believe it's the Power Rangers when I think it was like the second or third iteration of the Power Rangers when there was like the Machine Empire or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things that I drew from that obviously from my childhood or from our childhood, because I grew up watching things like Power Rangers, Beetleborgs, you know what I'm saying? Like Godzilla, like all that type of stuff. So it was really just immersing myself in the character and saying like, okay, what would this, like as I'm putting the music together, is this something that the character would be listening to? You know what I'm saying? Like when they're in their spaceship by themselves or they're in a battle or whatever, is this something that would make sense for them? You know what I'm saying? The vibe a bit, all that other stuff. So, you know, as I start to like mix and master everything, which I'm doing right now, like I'm gonna start giving people sneak peeks and stuff like that because they need to start hearing the music.
I'm excited to hear whatever you got going on because that was something that hit, because I can only think of maybe 2 other comics as of that I can think of that have like something that are tied to music somehow. It's Phantom of the from Aftershock, and I want to say the Afua Richardson Kickstarter comic that she had. I think there's something soundtrack or what have you. But I was already looking at the art and I was like, damn, okay. And I was like, Oh, this is Ray Comics. Oh yeah, bet. All right, cool. Just
Mhm.
you know what? Just let me hit that link already. Just all right. You've already got it. Then you threw it. Then you started talking about the soundtrack, and I remember I think you even had a post one day where you were talking about like what are some types of music that you like listen to, like what are some of the artists, like what have you, like hip hop, whatever. And I started, and then when you said the soundtrack, I was like, oh yeah, and just the idea of, because I have a habit of like I like coming out on my patio as I am today. And I like putting in my earbuds, putting my iPod, and just listening to either podcasts or music while I'm reading. I like that feel. So to have it, a soundtrack to go along with the comic, to just heighten the story for me, is just exceptional, because I love a great story and I love looking at the visuals that pop off the page. And I know it's Ray Comics, so I know they're going to pop off the page. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah,
I know that, and I know the story is going to be ridiculous because, again, it's Ray Comics. I know what I'm getting. I know I'm getting quality. I don't worry about it. If I did not believe in it, I wouldn't have bought a T-shirt.
Sure.
That's how I roll. If I don't believe in what you're doing, if I don't like your product, I'm not going to buy a T-shirt. I'm not going to walk around and be a billboard for you if I don't dig your product and you have the quality there. So I knew the quality was going to be there. Then I was like, oh, we got soundtrack too. Man, let me go over to Sam Goody and get some earbuds. Let me go over to
Go buy a CD player real quick.
yeah, exactly.
bro, let me go get a fanny pack. Let me go get the CD player, pop it on my hip. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to the arcade to scrunch my socks down, because I don't have the ankle socks. I got to scrunch my socks down before I got like a thigh high. You know what I mean? Like that just hit me so much to have a soundtrack with it, and I love it, and I'm extremely excited to listen to it, because music is such a part of our lives, in general, but also as Black people.
Amen.
Like we live I definitely know that that's a shock to y'all, but we are Black, and I didn't mean to out us like that, but I mean,
We are.
That's right.
So to have that, like I constantly have my earbuds in, like I constantly have music playing. I'm constantly like having music, whether I haven't been there in a while, but when I'm walking around New York, I've got my earbuds in about 90% of the time until I'm talking to this guy here and we're going to get something to eat, or whether I'm with friends or family, my earbuds in. So to have something that I can play over and over again, even if I'm not reading the comic, to have that there. And if by chance while I'm listening to it, it makes me think, oh yeah, you know what, that one scene was hot. Yeah, that one scene was, yeah. If it can, because memories are really brought back by music and smells. They really hit us. So even that is like a way of like hitting it back. Like, let me go reread that issue, because it was really, yeah, I remember that scene. All right, cool. And so that's even a great way to key in. Hey, you remember that scene? Do you remember the interaction between these two characters? Do you remember that battle? So that's a beautiful thing, to meld comics and music and to just make it this beautiful a marriage of mediums.
Right.
Bro, I'm here for it. I'm here.
Yeah, man, we appreciate that. And like I said, every book that we do here at Ray Comics, we approach it from a fan standpoint and point of view. And we want to make a book that we would love to read as a fan. And that's really what this is. And you've got the 80s and 90s inspiration going on in there. I mean, again, like if you loved shoot 'em up video games in the 80s and 90s, like you're going to get that vibe with this book. You know what I'm saying? You're going to feel that energy. Each character is very unique. Each character plays like an interesting part in the story. I mean, if you think about a gumbo, right? All these different flavors and pieces of, you know what I'm saying? That's really what you get with the team, the Angels team. And the cool thing is, and I'll quickly give you a rundown of who they are. So you've got Fox, the main character, you know what I'm saying? Well, the leader of the team is the brash, young, cocky guy who's strong enough to, wrangle a group of 5, crazy young kids together. He's got like a really dope vision, and he's very, very tenacious. Everybody needs that friend that can, help you get to that next level. What is it called? You've got Tank. Tank is the strategist of the team. She's a young, beautiful girl who is super intelligent, super brilliant, and has this eye for strategy and calculation. So she helps the Angels team in terms of the strategy part. You've got Deuce, which is Fox's second in command, is a animal-human hybrid creature who's really dope at fighting, who also helps keep the team in check, and also helps with space exploration. You know, if you think about the parakeet and the mine, right? Animals sometimes in the past would have to make sure that certain conditions were habitable for human beings, and that's what a lot of these humanoid animal hybrid creatures do on each particular team, which we also get into a whole nother other issues of what that looks like. How does it feel to be a creature that's made for one purpose but has emotions and feelings? You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into that. And then you've got Dragon Eddie, the guy with the silver hair and the bright red jacket with the jacket on, with the dragon on the back. Very flamboyant, loves fashion, loves dancing, loves music, but also is the fastest pilot in all of Libor. So he's got his thing to prove, you know what I'm saying? And then last but not least, we have Legs, who is the tech officer. She's an Afro-Latina queer character who is the technical person on the team, who builds ray guns, who fixes the ships, you know what I'm saying, who does everything technically related. And it's such a fun group of characters that we're really enjoying experimenting with how they are. And like I said, take the journey with us, because these characters are growing and evolving with us, even as the writers, as we write the story. So it's really going to be a fun experience for everybody.
Look, everyone, it's right. I mean, you can put the app on your phone. It's not
exactly.
You can do it as quick as anything.
Right.
You can put it right next to your DoorDash or your Uber Eats or whatever it is that you're getting your food from. You can get it right there. It's up. I mean, it's
feed your comic book senses.
That's it. And it's one. And there are a lot of great shows, like you were saying. And I love the fact. And I'm seeing this a lot more, especially since the pandemic and stuff like that. And with Kickstarters just becoming so much more profitable and are getting funded very well now. I think we're seeing the importance of fundraising as fans and as readers. We're seeing the importance of them. So we're putting in more, because you're seeing a lot more campaigns being funded quickly, like within like day one. So we're being funded. Then you get those stretch goals, which is great. And the add-ons are always incredible. I love the fact that seeing more and more indie creators saying, well, I have a Kickstarter. Hey, would you mind if this is part of a bundle? Would you mind putting this? And everybody teaming together. Hey, you got a Kickstarter in a month. You want to put this as part of like a digital bundle. You want to put this together. I love seeing all of you working together.
Strength
and helping each other. Exactly. Having each other's back. I absolutely love seeing I already have all of the damn comics anyway, but I love seeing that. I love seeing it like that. And that's a great thing. Hey, I've got this going on. My Kickstarter is going to be in 2 months. That'll help them. Then you can help them. Then, and it's everyone's helping each other rise up and get it done and being more consistent. And I think it also is like a way of accountability for everyone by saying, hey man, we got this Kickstarter. You want to team up? You want to do bad? Okay, cool. Then somebody else is like, I want in on this. I mean, I got this coming out. Then everybody starts dogpiling. I love to see it.
Let's all eat together.
That's right.
Let's go.
Exactly. And I love to eat. So yes, that metaphor hit me in my heart in a certain way. It did. This guy knows where my bread is buttered. Buttered bread sounds real good right now.
And we're gonna figure out a time to go out to eat at whatever con after it is. So just save the date, man. Whenever it is, hanging out.
That is, there's a question that I did want to ask, because Michael and I have had this conversation on air, off air, about New York Comic Con. We've had this discussion. Reed Pop is going ahead with it in person. Michael, are you fully vaccinated now?
I am, sir. Yes.
So you're a super soldier. All right, fine. My second shot is next Saturday. I don't know the logistics again of how it's going to work out as far as Jacob Javits. If everything's still good, because it's still early. It's only what, May? It's May. May.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm looking around as if I have a crew of people here asking what date it is, as if I have like a whole production staff here around me to help me do makeup and to make sure my hair blows in the wind. If everything goes and as is planned, and they do have New York Comic Con in person, not virtually, how do you feel about attending?
It's a good question, man. Obviously, New York City was a hot spot for a long time for COVID. It was, at one point had the most cases in all of the world, and then obviously went down, thankfully. But yeah, man, I'm curious to see what the guidelines are going to be. I mean, I don't even think they know just yet. They're not sure how they're going to socially distance that many people.
Right.
I mean, I'd like to say I want to do it. I mean, because I'll be fully vaccinated by that time. I'll probably wear 2 masks just in case. I'll give people the pound instead of the hug and the dap that I normally give folks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'll give them the peace sign from the distance. But yeah, man, New York Comic Con is such a fantastic show for connecting with the fans on this side of the country, whether you're from the DMV or whether you're from the New York City tri-state area or, Philly, PA area as well. Everybody comes to this show, and even people from abroad come to New York Comic Con. So, there's so much opportunity. But again, there are a lot of folks that will not be coming because, they got kids. They don't want to risk it. They don't want to chance it. So I know 2022 will be 100 times better, but we're still debating that. We're not sure whether we're going to do it or not.
Correct.
No, I totally like I said, Michael and I have had this discussion on air, off air. I've had discussion with other people as well about just because I'm very curious. Again, I don't know the logistics of it. I wish that they would do another virtual one, because I really enjoyed last year's. I mean, I could just wake up, brush my teeth, eat breakfast, and then I could just go right to the YouTube channel and just wait in a virtual queue, not in a regular line, until it would happen. I don't have to worry about a seat. I don't have to worry about, sitting next to somebody who, is a little ripe already and it's only 8 o'clock in the morning.
Word.
It just, facts.
Yeah.
But it just, but I do miss the in-person interaction. And I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I want to stop by everybody's table and just be like, oh, we made it.
Yeah.
We're here.
And, and also be like, okay, so, because I was like, damn, I would love to stay in New York, like probably that Friday to Monday or so, whatever, or Saturday to Monday. And like Saturday night or what have you, few people go together, get something to eat. But again, the reality of the situation now, again, it's May. By, October, we could all be cool and chill. And I mean, the vaccine can give us armor and whatever. It can do anything. You know what I mean? Like, what have you? And that's perfect. And that's a perfect scenario. But I have to think about, first off, the anxiety of registering. And I'm wondering about the cost as far as tables for everyone too.
Yeah, costs went up.
I kind of figured.
You know how Repop goes. I mean, they're, as much as they do great shows, but there's a price for those great shows, and it's probably more expensive than any other con out there in the market. So prices went up significantly, which is also a factor why a lot of people are like, wait a minute, prices are up, and you're not even sure whether we're going to have attendees. I mean, there was also significantly high prices just for the virtual events. If you wanted to attend virtually, it was $300 or $400, and that was on the low end.
Wow.
Jesus.
And so again, spoiler alert, that comic book business is difficult. I mean, there's challenges in exhibiting. Big shows are amazing, but small shows are great too. I'm saying you gotta show love to the small shows. But yeah, if you're not sure whether there's going to be a return on that expensive investment, I'm saying you got to think twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something. I had that conversation with JD Rosario about tables. He was like, well, I'm sure they're going to go up. I'm sure the cost, because there wasn't a show last year, so they have to recoup all the cost because they're I believe their website, they were still selling like the t-shirts and everything like that for New York Comic Con. I was like, man, there wasn't no con last year. What y'all doing?
Word.
Why y'all lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. And I'm thinking, but then I was like, yeah, they have to recoup that. So I was kind of figuring that cost had went up for tables, and I'm sure that cost will go up if they have it. That cost will go up for attending, even if you have a pro or a press pass, whatever, or what have you. And I want to know what the limitations are.
Mm-hmm.
and how they're gonna social distance tables, because they're not going to be able to have as many people. So I guess that also they have to recoup on that. So that's why they're going to be a little bit more expensive.
Yep.
So it's a very sticky. Like I've talked to creators about things, and I read your posts and I see the things that you guys go to continuously, as far as costs and cons, and maybe not selling all the books, or you sell all your books your first day, and then you're like, damn, I got to get somebody to go get books for me. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out. I will be obviously watching all of you to see how you deal, and how, because I know you'll all find a way, because you are all incredibly creative, industrious people. And again, the community helps each other. So I'm very curious to see how it works out. I'm hoping, again, perfect world. I'm hoping that on the Saturday of New York Comic Con, we're good, and I'm going over to your table, and I'm like, so I talked to Greg, and I talked to Mike, and I'm going to get a few other people. We gonna go get some barbecue after the show. Y'all good? Y'all, I mean, are we down? That's what I would love to happen. Or ramen. I mean, because I haven't had some ramen in New York in a minute. So yeah,
man, I miss New York ramen. Yo,
Aji-san ramen on what is it? On is it 23rd? I'm trying to remember the address. Oh, the place. So, I mean, I'm getting mad and hungry right now just thinking about that. Bowl of that.
Favorite lunch spots in Manhattan is called Market Crates, and they basically have a mixture of everything. So let's say you wanted a salad, or you wanted, let's say, a tofu veggie quinoa bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They've got obviously steak, chicken. They've got a whole salad platter. They've got, fresh baked goods. I mean, like, it's really kind of a nice. Again, they've only got 2 locations, so it's not like a big chain. They started with 1, 2, like maybe 5 years ago, and then branched out to 2. So they're not trying to get too big. Another great spot that him and I like is what is it? Beyond Sushi. Beyond Sushi.
Oh yeah, that's good. That place
vegan vegetarian sushi spot, which is delicious, and it's not too far from the Javits Center.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many good little spots to eat, man. Pizza places all over the place if you want that. I mean, you really can't go wrong with the food part of it in New York. That's right. Shake Shack is right around the corner from the Javits Center too. Like I said, like, you want to go out to eat, we can talk, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, food is going to definitely happen. I mean, that's because I go there, I do want to support places there, because I know that there have been places that I love that shut down, and it sucks. Like, I mean, there was one spot, I mean, not to be funny, but the Nugget spot, which I only got to go there once, unfortunately. Oh, tragedy. But seeing them shut down was crazy. Like, the last time I was there was, I think it was maybe last September or October, when we were at Anyone Comics that day. And I mean, just walking through like Times Square and seeing the places boarded up and such like that and closed down, I was like, damn. So I definitely, if things are good, if things are right, everything is copacetic, go there. I would love to be able to talk to everybody, have everybody together, talk, and just everybody just take one collective sigh and exhale all that
at the same time.
Yeah,
exactly, that big cathartic.
I mean, I'm saying, like, those post-con, meetups at restaurants or bars are just a lot of fun, man. I mean, I think the last time I had one of those was New York Comic Con 2019. Yeah, and it was Mia Fu Richardson, her husband, a whole bunch of other really cool indie comic creators, Henri Kampman, and we were all just sitting at a table, eating, drinking, hanging out. My interns were there, and we just it was a blast, you know what I'm saying? And it was weird, because like, oh yeah, we'll see you next year, you know what I'm saying? But like, nah, you know what I mean? Like, but when we come back, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be I mean, it's gonna be a huge. Again, everything was great. It's gonna be a huge thing for everybody. There's gonna be a lot of mixed emotions in Javits, a lot of anxiety, a lot of like, oh my God, but there you are, and not being able, you're not sure if you should, do we hug? Do I give you, how do we, do I make a soldier make a clap? Like, I don't know, like, what am I doing right now? So it's gonna be, but we'll all figure this out. We have time. It's May. So
Absolutely.
on that note of talking about food and cathartic exhales and ramen, damn that ramen.
Let's take a minute for the ramen, ladies.
Yeah,
Well, for real,
exactly.
for real. You gotta pour one out for the ramen. You gotta pour one out for that ramen. You gotta pour out some gold bouillon for that ramen. So, Michael, on a 1 to 10 scale, how do you think the show was? How do you?
An 11, bro.
Oh my God.
There is no scale for this show.
Oh my God. Jeez. That is a sterling review. I can't do that joke. It didn't work. Well, who wrote it? Oh, I did, because I'm the one here. All right, cool. So, TJ, Spencer, thank you so much for honoring us today.
Thank you, brother.
Incredible
song, man. This is like one of the most fun podcasts I've ever done, and to be perfectly honest, like Antonio is one of the funniest dudes I've ever met in all of comics. I mean,
that he is.
I talk a lot of shit. We joke a lot. We're pretty crazy as a duo, as friends. Antonio takes the cake, man. I love talking to this dude. I love hanging out with him, and I'm just looking forward when we can do this in person, man. You know what I'm saying? We can get to just rap and just be our nerdy selves,
Man, I will PayPal you the $100 later. I will. Good God, that Jesus, you make me feel like I just got paid. God damn, brother.
Yeah, man.
Man, look. I'm trying to keep up with all of you and everything that you. I look at the works in progress, the Kickstarters, doing all these different projects all over the place again, and also trying to have actual life. Trying to innovate a medium that's been around for decades and finding new ways to find these gems that you are creating. I appreciate you. I appreciate you both coming on the show and being here and just having a great time with us, man, and talking geek stuff and just putting your whole heart out there with Joystick Angels. I honestly appreciate TJ, Spencer, thank you.
Thank you, man. Our pleasure. Yeah, and like I said, man, this is it's great to be on the show. I hope we can come back at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe talk about some food or talk about anything else.
Absolutely.
Whatever. I mean, and just to quickly, I want to give some exclusive information since we're here. We're talking about some stuff. Let's look around. Let's go. So the next comic book series from Ray Comics is going to be a title called Villainous. It's a story that me and Newton Lillebois co-wrote together.
Oh shit!
Punk cyber noir story, like you've never seen before. It actually follows the villain of the story. You know what I'm saying? And we deal with racial injustice issues. You know what I'm saying? We deal with identity issues, loss, family. It's definitely an adult title. I know you guys are going to love it. Technically, and again, this is exclusive only to the Hungry Bleak and the Fandom Initiative podcast, that we already have one issue done. Issue 2 is currently in the works. In issue 3, we're writing the script now. So by the time we deliver it to you guys, we want to try to have at least 3 books done. And that's the goal by the end of the year. Okay. It's a big, big thing. We're super excited about it. It's really, really incredible art. I know you're going to love this. If you think, and then on the other side too, the next book that we have coming out from our collaborative projects is a book between me and Greg Anderson Elise. It's called Aliens, Pimps, and Genies, and it's a sex comedy, and it's absolutely ridiculous.
You had me when you said Greg. I was like, oh man, the two of these cats is going into it finally. Y'all going, oh man, and the title, Gold.
It's ridiculous, man. It's so much fun. One issue's already done. We're working on issue 2 right now. So we're using the pandemic time to get as much work done as possible.
Yeah, there you go.
And then by the end of the summer, we're going to have Okemos #5. I'm drawing that right now. I'm halfway done with it. So you're going to get, I know someone was in the comments asking about it. That's going to be out this summer too. Yeah, man, like so much cool stuff is coming. I cannot wait to share it with you guys. And it's a fan making comics for fans. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. We're just doing it for y'all and trying to make something dope. So thank you for the support, everybody. Please jump on the Joystick Angels Kickstarter, support it, get some good music, get some good art, and continue to watch the Fandom Initiative and anything the Hungry Bleak is doing.
That's right.
Because I said so.
That's right.
Damn. We will have links to the website, to the Kickstarter in the descriptions for the YouTube video, excuse me, and also for the podcast video that we will be posting tomorrow, because we want you to click that link. We want you to go on there, find the tier that's best for you, you know, pledge to it. And then if you see something else that you like in those add-ons, I mean, t-shirts, there's going to be stickers, there's a lot of great stuff. If you might not find it in that tier, but you like that tier, but you want to add a little something there, they've got you. Okay.
Yep.
Right.
So, man, TJ,
the value of the room went up again, brother.
Bro, this is I don't know how we can keep doing this show when these amazing people keep. I'm like, how are we going to top next week? Obama came on, bro. Are you serious?
Word. That's next.
And he cosplayed as Raiden. Oh my God, are you serious? What? Obama as Raiden?
Here, ladies and gentlemen, only here. And I forgot to mention one thing too. Like, all the people who are on the Kickstarter, they get an opportunity to listen to my brother's music. Which, I mean, I love my brother's music. I'm a big critique of music, you know what I'm saying? And he has a creative genius in terms of production, in terms of sound. And, you know, by trade, he has tons of projects. He's got over hundreds of songs that he's done for himself as an artist, but other artists as well. So if you're a hip hop fan, if you're a techno fan, if you're an R&B fan, if you are a fan of house fusion type music, like there's also his soundtracks. Oh, I'm sorry. His albums are available on the Kickstarter too. So like, I mean, there's so much value there that it's something for everybody. I just forgot to mention earlier. So I wanted to say it before we go.
Yeah, the full Alchemist line is on there too. If you don't have it, you know what I'm saying? That's a tier in and of itself. You get the comic books, you get the music.
You getting the two of this together. Why wouldn't you? Again, the weather's beautiful. If you have a patio, a deck, a balcony, whatever, go. Get the music. Get the comics. Enjoy a Sunday. Enjoy a self-care Sunday.
That's it.
In the morning.
Sunday.
Have your bowl of Cheerios or whatever cereal you eat, or quinoa. I don't care. Whatever you eat. I don't care. What you eat in the morning is none of my business. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And enjoy what TJ and Spencer are putting out there. Two incredible creative people, and they're putting out these amazing products of quality. All right.
That's right.
Go out and do it.
Appreciate that.
So, Michael, do you have any last words for the people?
I'm going to switch it up this time. Support these brothers right here. Ray Comics. Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do it. You will not be disappointed. Trust me.
So this is, again, Joystick Angels Kickstarter. Go on Kickstarter, type in Joystick. It'll be the first thing that pops up. Okay, because this is a Kickstarter that we love.
Yeah.
I was already there before it even started. I was like, yeah, just notify me when it happens. I just clicked that. I found out. I think I pledged later on that day after I got off work, or was the next day. I was like, bet, I'm good, set. I think I even got something in one of the add-ons because I'm like, yeah, I want it. So please go do that. Again, we will have in the YouTube video and the podcast, we will have the links to go and click on that as well. All right. So this gentleman across from me, this is Michael Williams. We were honored to have TJ and Spencer Sterling.
Yes.
These two creative, handsome gentlemen sitting there looking like they're looking at the back computer about to go solve some crime in Gotham. I love it. I love it.
Real, man. Real.
Thank you guys for being on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, honored to be here, man. Had a great time. Irene, what's up? You know, Lanny, Craig, what's up? Thanks for everybody who listening, who came on. Let's do it again, man.
We definitely will.
For sure.
Go check them out at Rae Comics. That's RAE Comics. And also go check it out at Joystick Angels on IG. You can find the two sites there. Check it out. I am Antonio Pomares. This has been the Fandom Initiative. You know what I always say. In the end, look, don't be a dick and don't be a cunt. That's pretty much it. I don't know what to tell you. It's that easy.
Yeah.
Do the best you can with what you got, because it's all you get. You know? So y'all enjoy the day. It's beautiful where we're at. Hopefully the weather's nice where you're at too. It's Saturday. Maybe it's not where you're at. I don't know. Whatever your time zone is. Whatever. Go enjoy yourself. Get something tasty to eat and watch me oddly, weirdly dance as we go off because it takes a second for my computer to end the stream. So get it. I'm imagining the soundtrack in my head and I can't get it out. It's like earworms. And give you a shoulder action just for free. I'm about to get OnlyFans, y'all. Oh.